Hello, it's Lighten Up. I'm going to be making a cooking video today, and I'm not feeling good, so I wanted to do something quick and easy. And I'm starting a new eating plan. It's called the Virgin Diet. It's basically an allergy diet where you cut out 7 things. I have my Zojirushi rice cooker, and I did, you can see it right there, GABA rice. So this has been cooking all day. Okay, so I've got the green beans here, and I'm just going to add a little bit. I have an organic olive oil, so I'm just going to put a little bit in here, and I'm going to mix it up really good so I don't need that much. And then I've got these mushrooms from Trader Joe's, so I'm going to, and I apologize for the angle on this. This is not going to work permanently for my camera, but at this point it's what I have set up. So first video in this kitchen, but I'm just going to put like a handful of mushrooms in there. Since this eating plan is a lot of protein and fruits and vegetables, I want to make sure that I have a lot in there. So then some of the chopped onions, and a little bit of the bacon, not that much, I just want to get some flavoring in. So just like maybe a tablespoon of chopped up bacon. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of this garlic. It's already minced, just quick and easy, so like a half teaspoon in there. And then I'm just going to take some tongs and mix it up really good. Just incorporate all of the flavors, make sure it's all mixed up, and the oil is lightly coating all of the green beans. That bacon will just go to the bottom, which is fine, because then once everything's cooked, I'll mix it up again and it will season everything. And I'm just going to add a little bit of kosher salt. Not very much. And some ground black pepper. I like to do my vegetables on convection roast, and then I just set the temperature for 350, and I'm going to let it warm up before I put the green beans in. And I've found that I really like to cook my meat in a cast iron skillet. It gives it a little bit more flavor. And I will be using coconut oil as the oil in there. It's healthier oil, and it can take high heat. So I'm going to put some coconut oil in there, and I've got this all-purpose dill mix from Pampered Chef. A little bit of this, it's a citrus grill. It has no MSG. I've got some capers. I thought I had a fresh lemon, but I don't, so I do have this lemon here, and then just some garlic salt and some simple seasoning. And then I'm going to use what's left of the onion that I chopped up and a little bit of garlic. So I'm going to get that started and going in. Okay, so I've got my cast iron pan here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this coconut oil. And the thing about coconut oil is it's thick, so you have to kind of scrape it out. But it melts really easy, so I'm just going to scrape out about a tablespoon. It looks like a lot, but it's not, because it's kind of like shaved in there. So I'm going to put that in my pan here, turn it on, and that'll take a minute. While I'm letting that melt down, I'm going to put in the onion. And the pork loin that I have is really thin, so it won't take very long to cook. So I want to get some of the stuff that takes a little bit longer to cook and that I want to cook down a bit. I'm going early. And what I'll probably do is cook it and then take it out of the pan and then put the pork loin in there. So I'm going to put a handful of these mushrooms, the Trader Joe's mushrooms, in here. I really like mushrooms, and they will add another depth to the meal. Just want to get that dispersed, get the oil dispersed in the pan. And another thing that I really like about cast iron is you get iron in your food, so it's another added benefit. But it also gives it a sear. It cooks at such a high heat. It gives it just a nice flavor. You don't want to cook these too quick. I put a little teaspoon of garlic in there, so I want to make sure that that is cooking, but it's not burning, as you can see. It's cooking quite nicely. But I want to get them to start breaking down. Put the green beans in the oven. They'll take about 10 minutes, and the oven is now preheated. I'm going to spread out these little pork loins on my cooking sheet, my cutting board here. I just want to put them close together because I'm going to season them up. They're really thin, like I said, they're maybe a ½ inch. And the thing about when you are cooking and you have raw meat is you want to make sure that you wash your hands really good. You do not want to be touching anything when you have raw meat juice on your hands. It can contaminate. So these are cooking up really nicely. You can see the mushrooms are sweating. They're starting to change color. And the onions are starting to become translucent. That's about what you want. So I'm just going to lightly sprinkle that on here. And then I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of this citrus grill. So the mushrooms and the onions are looking really good. I'm just going to push them to the side and turn down my heat a little bit. And what I want to do is just take them out of the pan for now. I don't want to, like I said, cross the raw food with the vegetables that I have in here. So I'm going to set that to the side, and then we'll add that back in a little bit. I just wanted to put, this is like Mrs. Dash, it's an organic Mrs. Dash, so I just want to sprinkle a little bit of that. I'm not doing any flour or anything on these. And then I'm going to take the pork, and I'm just going to put it in a light layer here. Make sure that it's coated with the seasoning on the one side. And I'm just going to squeeze it as much as I can into this pan. I should be able to get all of them in there. And if you notice, I only seasoned one side. And I'm going to cook this one side for a little bit so that it gets a nice sear on it. And then I'm just going to season the other side. So I have a nice seasoning on both sides. The dill, the Mrs. Dash, and a little bit of the citrus grill. So I've just got those cooking in there. I want to get them a nice grill on one side so that they've got a nice crust. You can see they look pretty good, so I'm going to turn it. See, and they're really thin, like I said. You don't want to overcook them, but they've got nice brown marks on there. So I'm going to turn those over and make sure that they get browned on the other side as well. There you go. Okay, so I kind of cleaned up, made sure that my area was clean, and then I'm going to take and put the mushrooms that I had back in, and the onions. And just spread that out with my spatula. So I just want to do a little bit of olive oil because I don't want to do straight lemon. And then I'm just going to put like a teaspoon of lemon And I have this little whisk. I'm just going to whisk it up really good. See, the oil in here actually tastes pretty good. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the oil from the capers too. And it makes kind of an emulsion. It's good. And it's not a really strong lemon, just a light lemon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly pour that over the top of the pork. And then I'm going to rotate these a little and just make sure everything looks good. I want to get everything mixed up. Scoop some of these mushrooms up on top. And because what I want to do now is I'm going to increase the temperature a little bit. Just give them one final browning on top. I don't want an overpowering amount of caper. So I just keep moving this around, and what I'm doing is I'm heating these up, getting them nice and brown, but I'm also reducing the sauce at the same time, because I'm then going to pour this sauce over the top of the pork. And this is almost done, so it's only going to take a couple more minutes. And while I wait on that, let's check the green beans. Ooh, those look nice. So I'm going to just quickly stir them up. They need a couple more minutes, but you want to get down in there and see all the juices and the onions on the bottom. So you want to try and scoop it up with your tongs and kind of place them on top so that you're getting all of those flavors incorporated. And because these are so thin, you don't want to really overcook them, but I mean, look at, that's a nice sauce, and it was no butter. There's no butter in there. It was just by using the capers and the sauce from the meat. So I'm going to turn that off and get everything finished, and we'll plate it up and let you see what it turns out like. Okay, so here it is plated. Our GABA brown rice made in my Zojirushi rice cooker. The green beans with the onion, bacon, and mushroom. There wasn't a lot of bacon, but it gives it a really good flavor and a depth, and it just makes it taste more sinful. And then the lemon piccata pork loin, and this is a very small piece. It's very thin, but because we aren't using soy right now, I wanted to take some of the sauce, which was one of the reasons why I wanted to cook a lot of the sauce in here, and just put some of that gorgeous sauce from the pork, the lemon and the olive oil, and just put some of that on the rice instead of soy sauce. And I think that that is going to be a wonderful, healthy lemon piccata and brown rice meal. And my estimation would be that this meal right here would probably be about between 400 and 500 calories. And you are getting a great mix of your grains, protein, and vegetables. Okay, I wanted to add, Caitlin's gonna eat some of it and rate it. One of the things when you have a family, not everybody's gonna eat the same. And some people, don't need to cut out certain foods. So Caitlin likes her soy sauce, and so she's going to add a little bit of soy sauce on there. And she's going to take a bite and let us know what she thinks. Oops.
That's really good.
Can you taste the lemon? Does it have good seasoning?
Mm-hmm. I can taste the lemon, yeah.
Good. So 1 to 5, what would you rate this?
Let me try the green beans first. 4.5.
4.5. There you go. And hey, that's without cream and butter. So, that's pretty good. Thanks for your help, Caitlin.
I'm going to go eat now. Subscribe.